What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, Season 6, Episode 4, 10 Things I Hate About Moving. Let's talk about Josh and Lily. So Josh has arrived in China, as we saw in the previous episode. He arrived at the airport. He did not want Lily to come pick him up because he wanted to learn how to be self-sufficient and independent in China because he knows he can't always depend on Lily. So he found his own way to get the Uber, and make his way to the new house where him and Lily are going to be living together. I say new house, not like it's a brand new house. I think it's an already existing home that Lily had upgraded. And so he gets to the house and Lily greets him at the door. They go inside and she gives them a tour of this house. This is a really nice house. It's very modern. It has all kinds of fancy upgrades. It has an elevator that plays actual elevator music in it. So it's a really nice house. And she never misses an opportunity to let him know that this house cost her a lot of money to upgrade. I think in the last episode, they said it cost her like about 500,000 American dollars to upgrade this home. So through it all, he's impressed. He, lets her know how appreciative he is of what she's done to the house. But I really want to know, is Lily doing this for them, for him, or really for herself? Because Josh, to me, seems like the kind of person who really was not expecting all of this, this house and all that it came with. It seems like he would have been happy in just a regular apartment with no fancy upgrades. But so I don't know why she did this. Why she felt the need to do this. And if she did this completely on her own volition, why does she want him to feel so guilty that she spent so much money on this home? So he mentions to her that with all the fancy upgrades and all the things that she's done to the house, there's no ice cream. And she tells him, because I have no money. All my money went into this house. So every chance she gets, she does this whole passive aggressive thing where she talks about how she's broke. All her money went into this house, basically to let him know that, I need you to contribute. I need you to contribute as soon as possible. I think she understands that he can't start working right away because of immigration, but I think that she was expecting him to come with his own money and to start, either, I don't know, repaying her or giving her money for, I don't know what she was expecting, because the communication between these two people, I find it a little bit lacking. So the next morning he wakes up, he wants to make breakfast, but the stove isn't even hooked up to the gas. And so he tells her, I can't even make breakfast because there's no gas to the stove. And I'm not understanding how that was overlooked. How did you overlook the fact that, the stove is not working? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So she's like, well, don't worry about breakfast because we have to go for our dress fitting because they're going to be getting fitted for their wedding outfits because they're going to have a traditional Chinese wedding. Now, they are already legally married, but they are also going to have a Chinese wedding to, I guess, for her friends and family to also participate. I don't really know. So they get to the dress shop, and as they're trying on outfits, it got kind of weird between them because they got into this disagreement about who really wanted to have this traditional Chinese wedding. And they were both blaming each other and acting as if neither one of them really wanted it, and that they're only doing it because they thought or they were under the impression that the other one wanted it. And I'm like, how bad can your communication or your memories be that neither one of you can really remember exactly who wanted the traditional wedding? Because there's a lot of money going into this wedding, like Lily doesn't let him forget, she's spending a lot of money on everything. So it's kind of strange how it seems like neither one of them wanted it, and they're only doing it because they thought the other one wanted it. So their communication is really bad. It is really bad. And he even told her, because I think he was supposed to pay for a portion of the wedding, and he had agreed. So she says, yeah, you need to help me pay for the wedding because I have no money. And Josh is like, yes, I know you don't have any money because you mention it every 5 minutes. So I don't understand why she doesn't I don't understand how she doesn't see how repetitive she's sounding about this money thing. It's almost as if she thinks that if she repeats it enough, he's just going to pull out a big bag of money and give it to her and be like, here, take it. This is what I owe you. I don't know what she's expecting, but the repetitiveness of it is just going to really, really, really turn him off. He understands He understands that he has to help out financially. He has to be the provider. From him talking to us, it seems like he understands that. So I don't know if he's communicated that to her, that look, I know I'm supposed to take care of you. I know I'm supposed to contribute and make my own money. I get it. You don't have to continuously remind me. Moving on to Matalia and James. So James has finally told his parents about him leaving for Indonesia. Him and Matalia had kept it a secret up until Matalia left. And so his family has no idea, except for his brother. His parents have no idea that he is planning on leaving the United States permanently. Now, the reason why this is important is because they run a family business, and it seems like James plays a very intricate part of this family business, and him leaving will leave an impact on how this business is ran and the roles that everybody plays in this business, I guess. So him leaving is a big deal. And so he finally tells his parents, we're not privy to that scene at all. They don't show that. But he tells his parents, and according to James, his mom cried, his dad kept quiet. He really didn't say much, I guess, to show how pissed off he was. So it did not go well at all. His parents are not happy about him leaving. Now, he has done this before, evidently, where he kind of left the family in a lurch to go chase some girl across the world, I guess. I don't know. So now the fact that he's doing it again, yeah, it didn't sit well with the parents at all. So he's got 2.5 days ahead of him of travel. And his best friend, I think, takes him to the airport. When he gets to Indonesia, he's going to be living with Matalia and 7 other of her family members. So it's going to be a very full house. And if things don't work out in Indonesia, he's got nothing to come back to except a very bitter family, because he's got rid of his apartment or his house. He got rid of his car. He got rid of everything. So if things don't work out in Indonesia, the only thing he has to come back to is some upset family members. So we see Matalia in Indonesia. She's riding on her little scooter, and it seems like she's really in her element. She's really happy because she was really miserable living in America with the weather and whatever medical condition that she has. So she's in Indonesia. She's gotten treatment for her throat, whatever issue she was having with her throat or her esophagus. She's been taking some herbal medicines or herbal remedies that have helped her. She is really happy. So we see her talking to her sister, and now Matalia's family, they don't know that James and her have come back to live in Indonesia permanently. They think that they're just coming to visit for about a month. So she decides to finally tell her sister, the one that she trusts the most, that they're coming back to live and not go back to America. So she breaks the news to her sister, and she thought her sister was going to be extremely happy to have Matalia and James living in Indonesia with them. But her sister looked at her like she was a damn fool. She was like, what? You left America to come back and live here? And Matalia's like, yes, aren't you so happy? Her sister's like, girl, have you lost your damn mind? Life here is hard. Life here is really hard. So what the hell are you doing? No, this is not a good idea. No ma'am. No way. No sir. So Matalia was disappointed in her sister's response. I think her and James are going to be selling banana chips. I mean, I don't get it. I don't, but maybe the cost of living is low. The pace is slower. I don't know. I have no idea because James is already stressing out about, how he's going to make money to support him and Matalia. He's already stressing out about that. He doesn't really foresee the banana chip business taking off like that. And I think Matalia even talks about how, but selling banana chips is very competitive in Indonesia. So I don't know. I don't understand. I'm not necessarily trying to say that, life in America is just automatically better because it's America, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what James's expectations are of Indonesia as far as like living there permanently, to live with, so many other people. I don't know how they're going to do it. This is going to be quite interesting. Let's move on to Statler and Dempsey. So Statler's friend comes over, and this is the friend that is extremely dubious of Dempsey. This is the one that I think at last year's tell-all, this is the friend that came on stage, and she didn't have nothing nice to say about Dempsey whatsoever. So the friend questions, why is it that Statler had to put up $20,000 for the van? And why is she going to be the sole breadwinner? Like, exactly how much is Dempsey contributing? Well, it's not much. Statler is definitely footing the majority of the bill for this new van lifestyle. So the friend says that, you do this because you're so afraid of being rejected and people leaving you, because she still is suffering through abandonment issues from being given up for adoption. So this is the reason why, to the friend, it looks like Statler is willing to do anything and everything to keep Dempsey in her life, even if it looks like, Dempsey might be taking advantage of her financially, or if it looks like she is, contributing more than what she can actually afford just to keep Dempsey around. So Statler sees, she sees the fact that her birth mother gave her up for adoption. She sees that as, not being loved. She talks about how the one person who you would think would love you the most and who should love you first, your mother, whose body you came from, that's the one person who was the first to reject you and give you away. And I understand where she's coming from. I don't know if she's talking like this because she has facts that this is what happened when she was given up for adoption, like her mom just didn't want her. But I always have seen adoption as a sign of love, like to love your child enough that you wanted better for them, that you knew that you could not provide for them. You couldn't give them what you feel like your child deserved. And so you're giving them up because you love them, because you want them to have a better life. That's how I've always seen adoption. I don't know if I'm living in La La Land or what, but adoption doesn't mean necessarily that you don't love your child, or you don't care about your child. It could mean that you loved your child enough to know that you probably were not the best thing for them. I don't know. So it's the day of the departure. Statler now, her friend is driving her to the airport, and Statler is like second guessing her decision to move to Europe and to travel around Europe in this van with Dempsey. And she's beginning to wonder if Dempsey is just using her. And if this doesn't work out, she says she's going to be in a whole lot of debt, and she's going to have a huge broken heart if this does not work out with Dempsey. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. I don't think Dempsey is using Statler. I think that Dempsey genuinely loves Statler, and I think Dempsey is going to do whatever she can to contribute financially. I don't think she's just going to be, doing nothing while Statler is doing everything. I don't think it's going to be like that at all. I think her friend is just really getting into her head, and she should, be thinking about this critically, but I really don't think Dempsey is using Statler. Y'all, Sarper and Shekinah, I ain't got nothing to say about this except that, Sarper has very long back hair, and this is supposed to be proof to Shekinah that he's not cheating on her, or wasn't cheating on her, while she was still in America, because if he was cheating on her, then whoever he was having an affair with would have shaved his back hair. And that's really all I have to say about Sarper and Shekinah. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, or don't. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.